Hello people, do you want to switch to product management? Here we are at Fasal's office. We are going to answer all your queries from building better resumes to answering or making better articulation of product related questions. Today we have Umang, who's Senior Product Manager here at Fasal. Welcome Umang.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks, Amir.
Before we start, I would like to ask you what Fasal is working on.
Fasal is basically an IoT based crop intelligence platform. It helps the farmers in reducing their input cost, in reducing their cost of production and increasing their productivity. We provide these farmers farm specific, crop specific and crop state specific actionable recommendations in a language that they understand, based on which they can ultimately reduce their cost and increase their productivity.
That is very interesting. So let's say I take an example. I am a tomato farmer.
Yeah.
How Fasal is going to help me?
So as a tomato farmer, let's say you have 1 acre of tomato, where you're growing tomato, and let's say you contact us. And once we have that conversation, one of the major problems that these farmers face, horticulture farmers or any particular farmer, is that how much water should I irrigate? Okay, when should I irrigate? Is there going to be a pest or disease infestation on my field? These are some variables which are still based on the traditional age old practices and are completely based on guesswork. What Fasal is doing is Fasal is making all these traditional practices more data driven. We talk about everything these days to be data driven.
So when you explained about saving water, I could relate to Fasal's website where you have mentioned that you have saved 3 to 4 billion liters of water just in India.
Yes.
Can you throw a little thought about what are you looking at? How much money? How much liters of water are you going to save in next 2 years?
I can talk about next 5 years.
Brilliant.
I'm pretty sure we are going to save around 800 billion liters of water.
800 billion liters. That's massive. That's massive. I think uh, people should join Fasal to be a part of this journey of saving a lot of water. So let's start with the questions more related to product management. So can you throw some light on, as a product manager, senior product manager, what is your role in Fasal?
As a product manager, I can talk about the day-to-day operations, but normally within a month, there are different things that I personally am involved in. It's right. It starts from, we have a set roadmap. It starts from working towards that roadmap and ensuring that we have all the requirements ready for the engineering team to work on. That's one of the basic things that every PM is involved in, and that's a regular exercise. You have a requirement ready, you continuously engage with the engineering team, with the design team, to ensure that the product that you actually, and the QA teams as well, to ensure that the product that you have gets delivered as per the set roadmap. That's one thing. Then apart from that, there are multiple product pitches that I'm a part of, some business meeting. There is a lot of conversations with the customer success team on what the customers are actually facing. There are conversations with customers directly to understand their pain points on a regular basis, so that we can actually resolve it through our products. Another important thing that we actually do is, every month once we sit, and then we write down some of the key things that have happened in the product. For example, how much engagement is going across different pages in the app, how many users did we acquire, how many customers. All these matrices is something that we try to identify within a like once, at least once a month.
Can I say that you are involved with everybody, all the teams, be it anybody except the people who are in, let's say, giving you coffee or tea?
You are involved with them as well.
Oh,
Product
interesting. How,
management.
I would want to know, how are you involved with them?
So product management as a function is all about like understanding everybody's requirement and providing solutions to those problems, right? Now, when in any company as a PM, our job, you get requirements from every person, right?
So can I say my mother is the best example of product manager because she handles maid, cook, father.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. So I'll move on to another question. So let's say I want to switch, or somebody wants to switch to Fasal, and what is the procedure of hiring a product manager or a associate product manager at Fasal?
So Typically how it goes is we first shortlist the candidates. Once we get the resumes and we first make the shortlist, after that there is one round of core product interview. It is roughly about 60 minutes. 45 to 60 minutes is roughly the time that it goes on. And post that interview, if everything goes well, then we send a case study to the candidate. And on that case study, the case study is followed up with a discussion. Okay. After that discussion, there are a couple of more rounds, one with a head of product delivery and another with a founder. And once everything is fine across all these interviews, that is when we finalize the candidate.
So the first step where you see a particular resume, how we can make better resumes for, let's say we are applying for a product role.
So one of the key things that everybody should take care of is basically they should not make a laundry list of the responsibilities that they have,
Interesting.
right?
I've seen couple of or most of the resumes mentioning this.
So it's like you have just mentioned all your day-to-day things and made a laundry list of the work that you have done in that particular organization. Now that does not tell me what exactly you have accomplished, right? So whenever somebody is actually structuring a resume specifically for the role of a product manager or an associate product manager, you should basically highlight your achievements. Okay.
Can you give some examples what they can be?
So for example, I'll give it's a very basic template which everybody can find online as well. Whenever you are writing something, when you are mentioning your accomplishments as well, you should mention it in a structured way that you have accomplished XYZ in your company by doing ABCD. So let me give you an example. Let's say as a person as a product manager, you contributed, let's say, 2% growth in the revenue of the organization by increasing the transactions, number of transactions, active transactions on the platform, for example.